What is the simple formula for not getting injured? Let's take a look. When it comes to avoiding injuries, I want you to think about the body in layers. Literally, think about going down to the bone level. Think about the thickness and the density of your bones. When you look at joints, think about the thickness and the durability of the ligaments that attach bones to bones. When you go out to the muscles, think about the tendons that attach bone and muscle together. What kind of thickness, what kind of durability, how resilient are those tendons and ligaments? If we go to the muscles themselves, obviously age dependent, how thick are the muscles? What kind of thickness and durability have you created with them to be able to take something like an impact injuries? How do you make sure that you bounce and you don't break? Well, when it comes to these three elements, right, the bone density, the tendons and ligaments, and the muscle density and thickness, I want you to go back to the Garmin dashboard and I want you to look at your calorie expenditure from yesterday versus what you took in. I want you to look at your morning weight and your evening weight. And then I want you to go and look at your hours of sleep along with your sleep ratios. When we go and we look at the very first element of food, Garmin is fantastic because they have a calorie report that if you would be willing to download the MyFitnessPal, and you can see where they give you the opportunity to link them here in the Garmin dashboard, it's a very simple way, literally on a per hour basis, that you can evaluate what is it that your body has burnt, both with sustaining life as well as activity, versus how much have you taken in. The more you can minimize that gap, you are giving the body a constant flow of nutrients so it can rejuvenate itself in between workouts, in between business meetings, in between class sessions. Remember, the body can only build off of what you give it. When we look at the second variable of your evening weight against your morning body weight, we always want you to be 3 to 5 pounds heavier, 1.2 kilos heavier at night. That's how we know that you're properly hydrated. If you're staying properly hydrated, you've got to remember that the cell membranes are going to be carrying more oxygen because the surface area of the cell gets progressively, it gets up to its full size. When a cell is properly hydrated, it carries more oxygen to the working muscles and it's more efficient at dissipating metabolic byproduct. When you look at the idea of your sleep and your sleep ratios, ideally we'd like to see 8, preferably 9 hours of sleep. And we'd like to see those sleep ratios where your deep sleep is close to 2 hours and your awake time is less than 10 minutes. Now, I've spoken about all of these in videos in the past, particularly for those of you that have been with me for multiple years. But I want to come back to the subject of an injury. What's the formula for the injuries? How do you keep yourself from becoming injured and or at least minimizing the risk of them? Make sure that you're rested, fed, and hydrated. Yes, you've heard me talk about these things before, but you can imagine the frustration on my side when somebody presents themselves and they were not aware of it. So if you've got friends or family, make sure they're aware of this. It's a very simple formula. The Garmin makes it even easier for you. But here's my question to you. At the time of you watching this video, how did you do yesterday? Did you put the steps in place to minimize your risk of injuries? Not only injuries, but you also, when you do the right things with sleep, food, and water, you've also minimized your risk of becoming ill. And it doesn't matter who you are, nobody likes to be sick, nobody likes to be injured. And if you're an athlete, those are the two variables that will slow your progress down more than anything else in the world. So I wanted to share this with you here today because Garmin makes it easy. I want to make sure that you guys have the formulas, and I would encourage you starting today, pay very close attention to your fluid intake. Make sure that you're nailing your calorie burn rate. Make sure that you're making sleep a priority. And as a byproduct of that, you'll have thicker bones, thicker tendons and ligaments, as well as thicker muscles, all of which make you a more durable athlete and as well as an individual and make you immune to injuries at some level. I hope you found this video helpful. If so, please do me a favor. Like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. We're putting out a new video every day here on YouTube, and we'd love to see you again tomorrow. And if you happen to have any questions, please feel free to send me and my team an email, contact@coachrobb.com, and we look forward to seeing you sometime tomorrow.